So I haven't done one of these videos in a very, very long time, about like 1 to 2 months, where I typically talk about something related within Gen Z. If you don't know, I'm part of Gen Z. I'm 19 years old. I turned 20 in about 7 months. So I know the people in the comment section are going to call me Unk Status anyways. But regardless, I haven't made one of these videos in a minute. And it's basically a series I have on my channel where I just talk about things happening in Gen Z. Whether the fact that a lot of us think that we're looking typically older compared to other generations, or something within the dating realm of like situationships, cheating, or whatever. It's usually something Gen Z related, and I kind of just want to sit and talk about it, and that's what this video is. We're bringing this series back. I want to make it more consistent with these videos because, one, I haven't found something that's Gen Z related in a very long time. Two, I wanted to do a collab for like the return of these videos. So I brought a very old friend and a very good friend who's a day one, by the way. Her name is Leah. She has a code on her IG, which I'll leave in the description, which I should have a code, by the way. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know how you got a code, but I'm just saying, where's my code at?
Hello, my name is Leah. Thank you for inviting me.
We're going to watch this video that's titled Why Gen Z Refuses to Date. We're going to sit back and chill. If you are new, please consider subscribing and liking the video if you did enjoy, or do enjoy because this is present tense. And yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
It seems like everyone is single nowadays, or in a relationship that is not fully exclusive, whether it be a situationship, I hate that term, or something that is undefined, especially for Gen Z. According to a statistic I came across, roughly 75% of Gen Z individuals are currently single and not in relationships.
I'm in that 75%, and I think a lot of it, well, based off the videos that I've seen for like a minute now, a lot of it say it's the whole like loneliness epidemic, where like a lot of people aren't just going outside or preferring like long distance relationships like via online and stuff like that, which I think is fine or whatever. But then you have like the whole thing of like situationships and like talking stages where you're kind of just like sitting there kind of just like debating on like, do they really mess with you like that, or do they not fuck with you like that? You know what I'm saying? Because at least for me, like in my personal experiences, I'm either getting like mixed signals or like, you know, showing signs that they're not interested in that way or whatever. But I feel like a lot of us, when it comes to that loneliness epidemic, it's either by choice or not by choice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not part of that 75%, but I do see that like relationships aren't the same, or as in like chivalry is dead. So like, I don't know, people just don't know what a genuine relationship is like anymore. We got situationships, talking stages. That shit was never there before until like our current generation. So I feel like people just don't know how a relationship works now.
I feel like social media plays like a very big effect into it, because listen, a lot of like the things that like happens that we see on like, you know, TikTok, Instagram, or like Twitter, it doesn't happen to like the normal person. A lot of the stuff that happens, like dude gets cheated on by like 4 other dudes because of like something stupid or like something petty. Tell me not a lot of it is because of some petty shit, like genuine petty shit.
People just, I don't know, people just, it's easier for people to like do whatever they want and say whatever they want because of online stuff. And like now there's newer standards, as if like when there wasn't social media that they wouldn't have been there. So I feel like now it just makes dating complicated, harder, and it makes it like harder to stay loyal. Or not harder, it makes people not want to stay loyal.
Because all of a sudden I need to be like 6 foot and like 6 figures by my age, because apparently people
exactly
like, come on, dude. Like, you can't tell me that all of a sudden one of your requirements is for me to be like 6'2" when I'm like 5'10" and you're like 4'11". Like,
yeah, exactly. Some people be like, I want a person that has a good job, has money, has a car and stuff. Even though the economy right now is not that good, what person is gonna have all this stuff at 20 years old?
Like the 1%, not even the 1%, like less than 1%.
The lucky people, basically.
Exactly. You're either a YouTuber or dropshifting worked out like 4 years ago.
Exactly. I was gonna say people's standards today are either really high or really fucking low, where it's like really disappointing. But like, how do we get between like either really high standards or really low standards? Like, what happened to the middle? Like, what happened? Like, it's not there anymore.
No, I 100% agree, low-key. The high standards that like people post on social media, where like you ever like see, especially on Valentine's Day, since it's practically around the corner, where like people go to like hotels and they have like all the balloons and like the little like heart-shaped like confetti, and like the bed is all nice with like the roses and the flowers and the chocolates and shit. and then for some reason they
Yeah.
post the aftermath and shit, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, like thanks for making me feel lonely, but two, it kind of sets something unrealistic in a way because a lot of people show love in various different ways, not just something like that. Because then you'll read like comments where they're like, if he would, he could, which low-key gets annoying because, like I just said, people have different ways of showing their affections to their significant other.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know what you're talking about. Literally, as I was scrolling through TikTok today, I saw a guy get his girl like all these gifts and stuff, and then give her a gift of a day of Disney World, basically. And you know, they're influencers; they have the money for that, but that's like not the norm. Like, no normal person working a regular job, like they might not have the time for it. Like, they'll have maybe time for a simple dinner date with flowers, but like you know, that's it's not the standard. They're Gen Z people too, but it's influencer stuff.
Like that high unrealistic standard, because obviously like it, like you could do it, right? But like that's like lucky people and shit like that. Because I don't know, at least for me, like if I give like my girl like flowers and shit, and then I take her to a nice restaurant that I've been saving money up for like the last couple of months, I thought that's like a pretty good like Valentine's date idea. That's what like my parents used to do way back when.
Yeah, like I feel like that's the norm, I guess, for a Valentine's Day or for a special day. That's what you'll do. But I guess not. I guess you gotta take your girl to freaking Disney.
Or like some like high-end expensive restaurant. Yo, take them to Hell's Kitchen from Gordon Ramsay. Okay.
This is for men and women. And the cause for this is as simple, at least to me, as just saying things like, oh, there's no dateable partners out there anymore, or all women are hoes and all men are dogs.
Dude, that's another thing. The alpha male podcast stuff, I've covered them so much here on the channel, bro. I hate those like red pill alpha male motherfuckers so badly, bro. I actually despise them because they give like the worst advice I think I've ever heard on the internet, and then charge you like $500 a month for like their super secret Discord that literally shows like no progress at all, and you're basically getting scammed.
What? $500 for that?
Yes, the image they just showed you, right? Like the other dudes that they just showed you, right? Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. All right, these guys, all right, you know who this is. You know who this is.
Yeah, I know who that
this is. These guys have history. He's basically like, he shit talks women on a daily basis, but some way, somehow he managed to get a girlfriend.
What?
I'm not kidding. Like, he would like shit on dude, there is a clip that I saw that I wanted to make a video on, but I never did, where he was shit talking the fact that women shouldn't be playing Overwatch and they should be like making him a sandwich or some shit, or making like their dudes a sandwich or some shit. Why are they on the game? Like the typical like that kind of shit.
Of course, bro.
This other dude, by the way, this guy, they like co-host for their podcast, but you'll notice that this dude will always wear their merch, which is kind of funny. But this dude managed to get an escort pregnant and wanted them to like get an abortion, but she didn't want to. She wanted to keep the baby. It was some crazy shit. It was from way back when. Like, I think like a couple months ago or some shit. But yeah.
Months ago, way back then. That was a month ago. It was not.
No, not a month ago, but like months ago.
Okay.
For like a while back. But these two, they're just not good people. Like, oh dude, they're basically far right. Like really, really far right.
Yeah. I mean, they got the incels, we got the femcells. They equal out at this point.
Basically.
Dogs. There are so many more variables in play here on why young people seem so lost with love and can't find someone. Many young people claim they're single by choice rather than the inability to find a partner, though this explanation only tells part of the story. The reason why I believe a lot of people are single by choice is because they simply don't think a relationship is worth it and don't feel like they're good enough. And nowadays, the hardest part about getting into a relationship is just that, getting into one. Once you're in one, it's actually hard for someone to fully leave said relationship, which creates problems down the line if a breakup does occur, and now someone can't let go, which causes problems in future relationships either person might have. I used to be someone that always said the reason why I'm single is by choice.
I feel like I still fall into that. I'm single by choice for like a lot of reasons. One is like, a lot of personal things. And two, I just think of the whole like, she'll probably come around at the right time kind of stuff. Like, listen, a lot of people going to diss me for like, being hopeful and shit, because a lot of people are just practically hopeless romantics and shit. But besides all of that, I think now me is perfectly fine with just spending time alone. While it's like, if I was like in high school, if you were to ask me in high school, like, am I single by choice? I'd probably say like forcibly single by choice, low key. But now it's just more like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I enjoy being alone. Like, it's so much better just spending time alone where I get to do a lot of the stuff that I'm super interested in. But the idea is that, like, eventually if I ever do find somebody, that they'll also like enjoy what I do and like basically let me like geek the fuck out or whatever.
Yeah, like I feel like a ton of Gen Z, they just got really comfortable being alone. So they like being alone, you know, but there's at a certain point where it's gonna be denial of like, you know, you not really trying versus like you actually genuinely like to be alone. But I feel like most of us, we really like to be alone and spend our own time doing our own things because kind of like freedom a bit.
Low key, that just be me at like night, like but it's like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm just sitting there like, damn, I kind of don't have another person to talk to, or some shit like that. It's only realistically at night where like it kind of just hits, but then I'll just like wake up the next day and just feel like completely fine about it, low key.
I think with as like generations get younger and younger, like you can enjoy life and like have a partner later in life. Like it's getting older and older. People are not having kids or they're like just having kids at a really late age. So I feel like we're at our 20s, but no one's really dating because we still got the rest of our 20s and 30s to date and like settle down.
I think for a lot of us, a lot of like the mentality, well, especially for the people that I used to know, they were just like, oh, I really want to work hard in my 20s so that way my 30s is more relaxing and stuff like that, which is fine. But then they'll come at me like a couple months in and it's like, damn, I kind of miss her or some shit like that. Or like, damn, I kind of just like miss having that quality time or some shit, you know?
You know, that's how it is when it comes to relationships and stuff. But, you know, you kind of have to like, you have to learn how to enjoy being yourself first before getting into a relationship. Because if you don't like yourself, it's going to be hard to stay, I guess, healthy in a relationship, you know?
Love yourself first before loving or attempting to love somebody else, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was trying to improve myself in all facets of life before I started dating. I remember the 3 things I set for myself before I started dating, like the minimum I needed to have to put myself out there. I needed my own car, a job, and my own place. But guess what? Even when I had all 3 things, did I start dating? Nope, I just moved the goalpost. Oh, I also need to be in decent shape. Oh, I also need to have more money saved up. Oh, I also need a nicer car. I kept on giving myself excuses on why I wasn't dating. In all reality, no matter how much I did to improve myself, it wasn't enough for me. Because guess what? I was insecure as a man in my own self-worth, which I think social media played a part in. I would say a lot of the reasons why I personally believe Gen Z has given up on love can be traced back to social media. I won't say social media is the exclusive reason why Gen Z is so single, but a lot of the problems that us, the younger generation, faces in dating does stem from social media. Constantly telling us that we aren't good enough, but not only that, also telling us that no one out there is good enough.
I think what I've learned over like the course of like a couple of years is that when somebody gets like broken off because of like they were cheating or like they just naturally fell out of love, and then like they start saying like all women ain't shit, all women are gold diggers, and then you have the other side of people saying men ain't shit, men are cheaters, men are this or men are that. I feel like on both sides, whatever experience you've had, whether you've got cheated on and shit like that, it's basically like the people you found were a small minority, if that makes sense. Like, there's probably genuinely good people out there that will care for you and like love you for you, but the people you've dated previously, where a small minority gets massively increased because of social media. Because you can go and tweet out saying you just got cheated on and show you all the screenshots. Then you have people saying, oh, good for you, girl. Men ain't shit. Go focus on yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, like, I don't know. People tend to like group people or group just based off one experience or a certain group of people. And it's just like, you know, it's not everybody. But because of social media and stuff, we kind of like to hate on each other. So if we see one thing happening, like a hate on guys and stuff, all the women are going to try to hate on guys. Same thing for men as well. They try to do the same. But like, you know, it's only a small group of people. It's not like everybody. But I feel like because we're such haters online, we kind of tend to like keep that mindset, like a negative mindset. So we don't tend to open ourselves up more.
Funny that you say the hating stuff, because I literally just saw my friend quote tweet like some random dude in like their relationships, and he was just out there hating. So I responded to bro saying hating in relationships in 2025. Like, I just sit there like, all right, dude, like it's probably for jokes. They probably know each other, but like outside perspective, it's kind of just like, all right, dude, what the fuck? Like, this man is hating on like a Thursday night or some shit, bro.
I mean, we became such haters. Like, there's people hating on Valentine's Day when it's like, yeah, you can hate on it if you're single and stuff. I get it, but like, it's a day for love, and even if you don't got a partner, you can just self love yourself. Like, it's not just about being with a partner.
I used to be a hater of Valentine's Day. Listen, maybe depending on what I see tomorrow, if it's my friends that are like posting and stuff that I've been like genuinely proud for them being in relationships, I'm not hating. But if it's like somebody that like I'm not really like messing with, I don't really know, and I see that shit, yo, my ass just starts hating. But like I won't be responding. I just be like just saying it like in my head or whatever, whatever I like see posts and shit like that. A lot of people on the internet on like Valentine's Day tomorrow are just gonna be fucking hating. It's either gonna be really funny or really corny. No in between.
No, Loki, me too. I used to be a hater, but you know what? I'm still a hater. I don't care.
I'm still hating in these streets. I do not give a fuck. I'm still hating. I'm still hating.
I'm an avid hater, and I always will be.
Type shit. No, literally. If I'm not hating, then I'm probably dead. like dead ass. Like dead ass.
No, me too.
If I stop like the fucking not congratulating people or whatever the fuck, I'm dead.
Okay, first things first. Social media just over exaggerates everything, especially anything that is negative. So whenever you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or whatever, you will see a lot of content that caters to that specific emotion, negativity. I'm pretty sure you've seen those street interviews online that's usually a guy interviewing young women on like Venice Beach who are most likely under the influence and asking them very, how do I say this, personal questions.
Have you ever seen those like street interview videos?
Yeah, isn't that like where the Hawk Tuah girl came from?
Basically. Literally.
Yeah.
It's such a popular thing on like all social media for some reason. I think a lot of it is scripted. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like clearly scripted where like, the dude is saying something and then the girl just like randomly walks in, says something that'll get people like commenting and stuff like that, so that way it gets pushed to the algorithm.
Yeah.
I just don't think like you're doing an interview and then all of a sudden someone just naturally like goes and just fucking says the shit that they say even under the influence or whatever, right?
No, yeah, like I mean they're under the influence. Like you don't really have a way to stop yourself when you're under the influence when it comes to what you say. Like you don't have you don't think straight. So
This is why you don't
definitely for
drink it.
attention.
That is true. That low key is true. It's usually just to grab your attention to like, oh, if you say some like controversial shit, it's gonna get people commenting and shit, and also like probably get you famous. All of a sudden, you could fucking just say Hot Tua and you'll become a multimillionaire overnight, bro.
You get a whole podcast to yourself. Like yeah, but it's definitely for attention. And you know why it probably gets so popular? Because a ton of people hate on it. Because like these people are saying ridiculous things.
Like, what is your body count, or have you ever cheated on your partner? And because these interviews are purposely cut in a certain way to get a viral clip.
All right, guys, word of advice. If you do what she just did right there, you become a millionaire overnight, have a podcast, and basically just become an A-list celebrity.
Real.
Like, fuck it, dude. Get me on a street interview, dude. Let me just say some stupid shit. Fuck, I'm trying to think of like a funny, insert a fucking funny quote or like a logic bar that I want to like fucking say in an interview and then make me a millionaire. Fuck it. Oh, so you ever notice that like in a lot of the interviews, it's always like at night, but like in a valley? Like it can't be just me.
In a what?
Like it's usually like in a dark valley, not like on some like scary movie shit, but it's usually like where like people are like walking behind and like I don't know, middle of like New York City or some shit. Where they're, like,
oh, like a
doing this
dark
stuff,
alley.
basically.
Yeah, I mean that's like where most clubs are. That's why.
Yeah, true. You're not wrong.
As a result of all of this, a lot of young people have lost interest in trying to pursue relationships because they assume everyone will be a terrible partner and that any relationship is doomed to fail.
There's genuine people that think like that, but at least for me, a lot of reasons why I won't like attempt to like go up to somebody or like do like what a lot of people used to do way back when. You know how like they always say that like, oh, we used to send letters to each other before we had like phones and shit.
Yeah, guys. Like all I'm gonna say is like don't be scared. What I used to do is I would just randomly ask people's number to not get scared. It's nothing bad to like ask, but you shouldn't be scared because like once you get over it, it's not that bad.
Bro, I don't know how you doing that. I don't know how you did that. I can't even.
I don't know how I did that either.
How do
but
you
like,
do it, bro? Like, what the fuck?
I did it. I would get yes, I would get no's, but like honestly, it's for the experience of like trying to overcome that fear. And you never know. You always try to shoot your shot, and.
But I always be missing my shot. I'm either like airballing that shit or like just like I'm just straight up.
Hey, would you rather know or would you rather not know?
Shit. Sometimes I would rather know, but other times, a lot of us, I'll just be like, if I'm like walking by or like I'm in class and I see like a girl, I'm like, oh damn, she's pretty, and then just like move on with my day. I just won't even fucking try. just won't even fucking try. I'm just like leaving it at that.
That's different though. Like if you're in like a spot where it's casual, like socializing, shoot your shot.
Good to know. And I think a lot of us have a fear of rejection. Either
Yes, but that's why you do it, because that basically eliminates your fear of rejection because you've gotten rejected.
true. You spitting.
Trust me, guys. Like if you do this, your rejection, like the fear of rejection, won't be as bad. Also, practice.
You're either going like 5 for 5 or 0 and 54. So
That's true.
don't ask why I said 54. I might have done 54 shot attempts in the last 4 years. But anyways,
I just want to say something, guys. Trust, like shoot your shot. You never know if you do make it, if you don't make it.
you're either
I shot
Stephen
my
Curry.
shot, so like
Oh, fuck. Yeah. She shot her shot and made it. All right. You either are Stephen Curry or Draymond Green. I'm just putting that out there. If you know, you know. But I'm usually missing my shots half the time. But there's hope. There's hope. Although, like, in probably like my previous videos, I'd probably be saying I'm like fucking hopeless and like I have no chance. But like nowadays, shit, if it happens, it happens. Low key. If she can deal with me talking about Dokkan and like how I want to like link level a lot of like my favorite Dragon Ball units, then she might be the one. Low key. What's the saying? You either miss 90% of the shots you don't take, or some shit like that.
exactly. Yeah. See, shoot your shot, guys.
Either you do it or she does it first. Because if she does it first, it's practically guaranteed.
True.
Like, I'm not lying though. Like if a girl were to come up to me that I found attractive and she was shooting her shot with me, I'd probably say yes. That just makes my life easier.
Way that social media harms relationships is the constant comparison of individuals, which makes people deeply insecure of themselves. Like, after seeing 10 different videos of 18-year-olds moving into NYC penthouses.
Bro, how are people moving into their dream apartments? What are you doing?
Influencing.
Are you investing in the stock market, bro? What is this, Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, I have no idea how they afford that. Those houses are like millions of dollars, or those apartments are millions of dollars. They're such a young age. Most of them don't even go to college, or if they do like online college. So it's just really unrealistic. And you see, this is what we consume as like content. So it kind of makes our standards a bit higher for not just for other people, but ourselves. So like if we feel very, very low in confidence because we see these people, it makes us more scared to like, take care of someone else and date someone else.
Because, yes, the average 19-year-old will probably have $8,000, guys. That's just not going to happen. These videos are entertaining for, like, some lucky person can live in New York City. God bless. But the average person is not doing something like that, and we shouldn't just all of a sudden
make
lower...
it the standard.
Exactly. Do not make this the standard. This is literally, like, the 1% of people, less than that are able to do something like this. It can do it for content just to show y'all and basically flex that they got money. So do not take it to heart. Like, have you ever seen those videos of like people like doing like their day of my life in a 9 to 5, and there's people in the comment section like dissing them for working a 9 to 5?
Really dissing them? That's like the normal job, like 9 to 5.
Like, there are issues with corporate America, but that aside, that's what a lot of us want to do because we like to be like secure and have money and not end up in the streets. But then you go on TikTok and you see the comments and there's people hating on someone working a 9 to 5. And not everybody is going to get lucky and become like a multimillionaire influencer overnight. A lot of people would prefer doing a 9 to 5 in an office than being in construction or like being in the fucking streets.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. 9 to 5 is the average for most Americans. So like, I don't know. Unrealistic standards, hating on the basic standards. Like I said, we're just haters, bro.
Because they blew up on social media, it makes you feel worthless. Especially as you get older and where you at in life isn't what you envisioned for yourself growing up. Feeling like you haven't accomplished anything while everyone around you seems like they're much further along than you. This pertains to relationships because if you feel like you're worthless, you don't see yourself as a desirable partner, which is going to discourage you from dating. This is just one part of the problem. I haven't even discussed, I'm about to, how men rarely don't even approach women anymore, and women don't approach men at all.
What's that Logic video where he's like, I don't fuck with nobody. It's just me, my friends, my fiance, and my dog. I don't fuck with no one. I don't go outside. The Future B put that clip in because that's how I used to feel a lot of the times.
No, because I don't fuck with nobody. Yeah, I don't fuck with nobody, like at all, nobody. So It's very simple. I stay at my house, and it's just me, my homies, my fiance, my little puppy I just got, and I don't fuck with nobody. I don't go anywhere. I don't go to parties. I barely go outside. Like literally, I really don't go outside that much, just because I don't fuck with nobody. I know that seems a little weird, but I refuse to allow any sort of cancer in my life to spread.
Well, like I just want that like small group or like small people and just like do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, like you be hating on everybody, but like, you know, you're just a hater for life.
I feel like at least for like dudes, a lot of us don't approach women because one, the rejection that I mentioned earlier. Two, for some reason, if you just like have like a normal conversation, for some reason women can twist it and post it on social media and like completely throw that out of proportion to make the dude seem like a bad guy for some reason. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I feel like it goes for either gender. Like,
no, yeah,
a man
does.
can
It does
twist
for
it up
sure.
so bad, like this girl's a whore, this girl's a bitch, blah blah blah. And you know what? The girl was just acting fine. The girl was just doing her normal stuff, and it was just guys overreacting. But same thing goes for men and women. Like we tend to overreact to a lot of things. Just because like something doesn't go our way, we like to get mad and like we try to blow things out of proportion. But you know, like I said, we just don't like anything, which is why probably it's like hard to like do anything.
Yeah, you're not wrong. No, yeah, I'm fucking with the idea of what you're saying. It goes for both sides, but for some reason, I guess I see. Well, at least for me, I'm usually seeing some lady like taking something out of proportion. I rarely see the other side. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I rarely see it.
Probably because like, you know, our content that we view is different. I'm obviously gonna have more female orientated content, and you're gonna have more male orientated content. I see more stuff that like men be doing to women, which is just like a big diss to them, because it's like, why the fuck are you calling this woman ugly and a skank when all she did was ask for something, you know? Like people be doing all that stuff, and I'm not saying it's not gonna happen to a guy as well. It probably does. You know, people tend to be mean. People are mean in this world. People overreact, but definitely caters towards like, you know, what we view as our content.
They give tiny hints that they want to be approached, but most men are painfully oblivious to things like that or get the wrong idea.
That's me as fuck. That is actually bro, for some reason I can't take signs. If you don't tell me straight up, I'm just oblivious. Like straight
No,
up, just
real.
straight up, bro. If you can't admit it to me, then I'm just never going to do anything.
Yeah, like people be like that, but it's a bit kind of like a mind game sometimes. Like, how am I supposed to know that you liked me because you were being nice to me? Like, what do you mean? Were you not gonna be nice to me if you didn't like me?
True. Also, a lot of the times it's probably because they might just be scared to like admit feelings because they don't know if they also feel the same way. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like it does happen.
Yeah, it does, but like at the same time, it's just like, man, if you wanted me to know that you liked me, then just like, you know, take like, I don't know, flirting 101 or something. Like I can't be playing mind games for that. If you don't know, what makes you think that I know?
No,
Based off of
exactly.
we're the same age.
Exactly. Like I'm like for some reason people be thinking I can read their minds and just assume. You know what I'm saying?
Because of this, a lot of the times when men do approach women, it is done mostly on social media or on dating apps.
Do people actually use dating apps? I've never used one. Like I've personally never used a dating app, but I feel like
I've used one. Yeah, but I don't know if
that what's that like? Or is it just people trying to like do hookup culture and shit and just like leave it at
it's
that?
like, I feel like, yeah, it's mainly hookup culture. I don't know anyone that really uses the app to genuinely find someone. I do know people though who have found their girlfriend slash boyfriend through Tinder and they're currently dating. But it's weird because Tinder's used to date, right? But on Tinder, you have to clarify what exactly you want. Like, do you want a serious relationship or do you want to hook up? And then it's a bit looked down upon if you just want to get a real relationship because it's like mostly used for a hookup. Also, I just feel like it's not the best way to find someone, even though people have found their partners through online dating apps. I feel like you just can't fully understand a person just through an app. I feel like you have to get to know them more. And yeah, you could text in that, but I feel like jumping into dating after a few text messages on an app is not enough to like fully meet a stranger basically and go on a date with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also, like you said, it's also like the whole like hookup culture thing, which I just don't fucking like, bro. Like, how do you just like naturally like hookups with somebody that you're not even in love with? You know what I like? I don't know how people be doing that shit.
I don't understand it either. Like that you get to like a personal level when you do that type of stuff, and it's just like, do you not feel naked to yourself? Like do you not feel like you're putting yourself in a bad situation?
I just don't get it. Like, I knew some people way back in high school that would like do some shit like that, and I didn't even want to ask them. I just assumed it was like, what is going on through your head? Is it the fact that like, oh, in the small like realm that we're in for like 4 years, you're gonna have like the hype moment that like you fucked the baddest bitch or some shit, and like it wasn't even for like something serious. It was just because like for some shit or whatever. I don't know. I just never understood that because like, yo, I'm falling in love if some girl grabs my hands, bro. Like, be serious.
No, yeah, I don't know. Like hookup culture, it's a weird thing because sometimes people tend to like are not emotionally available. So I feel like that's what plays into hookup culture. People who aren't emotionally available, but yet they want that. They want to have
Like, what you mean you fucking casually, gang? Like, what? Like, bro,
I
you
don't know.
cannot.
People be like that, and I don't understand it, to be honest. I'm not the type of person to be doing that. But I also don't understand how people don't catch feelings. Like, how are you getting this intimate with a person without catching feelings?
That's the fuck up. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what you mean you just like had a session? Alright, I'm not trying to get fucking age restricted, YouTube. But like, what you mean you'll have a session and then just like leave? Like, what do you mean you're not like catching feelings, bro? Like, what the fuck? That shit just makes no sense, man.
Never does. I don't know.
I think we have all spent so much time online that we forget how things operate in the real world. Maybe it's because I didn't grow up in a major city, but what I see online just doesn't reflect what I see in real life. You would think because of social media that every woman has ridiculously high standards. You would only think men only date and want slim, submissive women.
Yo, speaking of that, there was this like popular footballer. People were like dissing their wife because it wasn't like the natural like beauty standard of like a woman that they see in their eyes, and I kind of just like found that stupid because a lot of us have once again different preferences and shit, and for some reason just because you see two happy couples, it's the kind of shit that like people just start dissing for like happy couples because
That's so sad. Like,
it
why?
is low-key.
First of all, why do you have an opinion on someone else's preferences, someone else's relationship, when you don't even got a fucking girlfriend? Like, shut the hell up.
You can't even like swipe up on their stories type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. And you know what sucks? You know, people thrive on that stuff. Like, people thrive on judging other people and what they do. And, you know, it's gonna hurt the person at the end of the day. But it's like the beauty standard in the US is so unrealistic. So, like, the only type of people you'll be seeing like that, people who like, can afford to, like, do certain things to themselves and stuff. But, like, you know, people have different preferences. Some people don't want the beauty standard of the US.
doesn't that also kind of just like relate to like a lot of people doing like plastic surgery to make them like feel better so that way they fit into that like unrealistic standard, and then it just like
Yeah.
doesn't even like turn out that well in like the long term?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't understand the beauty standard in here because the beauty standard is blonde, tan, blue-eyed, slim, thick, and it's just like, you know, like we are a diverse people in the country. So like, how are we gonna fit into this one demographic of like blonde, blue-eyed, tan, tall girls?
All I want is just a girl to love me for me. Is that just too much to ask for?
That is not too much to ask for. You
That
can
is-
definitely find that.
Yo, I feel like I'm not asking for so much, right? While like motherfuckers are just
Like I said, people either have high standards or fucking low standards. You gotta raise your standards, bro.
like what like the fuck do they want me to say? I want a 5'4" Latino with like green eyes or some shit that has like highlights or whatever the fuck. Like, is that what the people want me to say? Like, bro, I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. I feel like having standards and preferences is fine, but if they're genuinely too unrealistic, it's like, what are you doing? You're setting yourself up for failure at that point.
That's true, but you know, some people are just delusional.
Ah, damn, I fit in that category. That's crazy.
Is doing better than you. In all reality, your average person, especially your average young person, is struggling. That might not be the most comforting statement to hear. Hey, don't worry that you're miserable because everyone else is too. But what I'm trying to convey to you is that you're not the only person experiencing these things. You are not alone, no matter how much you say you are.
So you mean to tell me there's somebody out there listening to 1-800 at 4 in the morning with me? Good to know. All right, but like jokes aside, I don't think everybody, like, nobody's fucking miserable. Like, we obviously have like our down days and shit, but to assume that just because you're miserable everybody else is miserable is just stupid.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a mindset thing because you yourself, when you feel miserable and you see everybody else doing better than you, it makes you feel lonely, as if you're a failure, you're the only one that's doing bad. But there are other people too. Not everybody's miserable. You're right. That's true. But you won't always be miserable either. There are times that you're going to be down. There are times you're going to be up. And that's the same for everybody. Some people might be really down and some people might be really up. But, you know, you're never going to be at a miserable point for a long time in your life. There are ups and downs, you know? And I feel that's also really important because when people get into that miserable mindset, they might get stuck on it and then it affects everything, their work, their relationships and everything. But you know, you just gotta know that there is better in the future. Like there's gonna be way more better things happening to you in the future.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel, basically. Your all the work that you do will eventually like come into play.
Exactly, yeah.
So, what's the solution? Just live in the real world. Don't be a Facebook mom and take everything on social media as facts. I'm not even saying you need to delete every social media app. You just need to touch grass a little more. I'm not going to pretend I have all the solutions to your problems because I'm just like everyone else. Going through life, hoping for the best. You just need to try to live. Give yourself a shot at a good life. Giving up at 22, saying your life is over, is just not it. Just leave your room more often. Doesn't matter where to. Just leave. It's not about destination. It's about the journey.
What's funny is that literally in my college writing class yesterday, we were talking about like nature and shit. Where like a lot of people are focused on like materialistic things or don't go outside and don't kind of just like appreciate the nature and shit like that.
Yeah, also to add on to that, don't put yourself down so much for being at a certain point in your life because we all go through life differently. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all are going at our different paces. So like it's not good to compare yourself. I mean, yeah, you're gonna compare yourself no matter what. Like, you know, social media, you be seeing people doing different things than you. Like, there's no way you can't compare yourself. But you always gotta remind yourself that you are going through your own timeline. Like, you're gonna be doing different stuff than everybody else. And you know, there might be someone else that is doing stuff that you did like a year ago, and you know, they might be behind in their eyes. But you just gotta keep your head up, basically.
Take it day to day and make the right decisions. Logic said that quote in like I forgot what era of that song, but it kind of just stuck by with me, especially through like the latter half of like the rest of senior year for me, where like you just gotta take it slow, one step at a time. I think one of my friends said it best, where like just because one of us can thrive now doesn't mean the other one can never thrive.
Exactly. Just turned 25. Literally everyone I know is still single or about to be. It's crazy. Yeah. Dating culture is not built for the strongest nor the weakest. Like no one's safe.
Dude, if you were to tell somebody from like Gen X that you're 25 and single, they're probably looking at you crazy.
Yeah, they're probably saying like, oh damn, this person's old and single.
They probably think it's
That's
over.
so sad.
They probably think it's over at that point because most people in that time were like 25 with like 2 kids by that point. Most Gen Z want to date but can't find anyone. A lot today is online, but online dating doesn't work. It's just a crash job. It does work if you're both committed to it. I've seen it work before. I've seen it work.
It does work, but honestly, it just really depends on like the type of relationship you guys are having. Like if you guys are only meeting on a specific like application and only doing things that are not the norm in a relationship, that is to me a bit of like, you know, do stuff that like regular couples do. Watch a movie together, you know. You might be guys distance, but you guys don't have to do things like that are only, I guess, what couples do usually.
Dude, that whole I know what you mean. That whole like dating shit is so funny. Because what do you mean like random date idea? Let's watch the Cars trilogy, but it's me explaining the first movie. Or some shit. Dude, I fucking love that movie. It's not possible to participate in dating when you get rejected all the time. See, I used to have that mentality, and you know it. I used to like be like that a lot, where I'd just be like, man, fuck this shit, dude. I'm getting rejected like on a constant day-to-day basis, man. Fuck this.
Nah, take that native ass mindset out of your head. Like, you know, you might as well say, fuck it, we ball, and just like go in. Like, basically what I did. Just ask your people number, yes or no, move to the next person.
I'm just scared of women, gang.
Don't be scared. Like, just think about it. You and a girl right? You guys are 20. But when you guys were like 5, you guys were like little ass kids playing around in the yard, right? Like, you know, you gotta think of it like that. Like, you guys all grew up the same, you know? We're all scared.
Situationships aren't real, it's just copium.
That's real, bro. Like situationships, I swear, I remember when situationships literally got the term for it. It did not exist when I was like in middle school or so. Like that was not a thing.
Like, what do you
Talking
mean?
stages were a thing, but not situationships.
Like, what do you mean that we could like go on dates, literally make out, but you don't want a title? Like, what the fuck? Where did we get that
Girl,
idea from, bro?
I don't know. I don't know when it even started. I just remember it started being a thing like maybe around COVID.
Probably, honestly. A lot of us were just inside most of the time. Well, a lot of the time because of the pandemic, but
I remember I first heard about it and I was like, oh my god, another fucking like challenge to go through. Like, I don't want any more challenges just to date a person.
no, literally, like nowadays I just want to be like straight up. It's like, hey, are you looking for one or not? So that way I just don't waste my time. Low key.
Yeah, and it's fine to be forward. Like, it's good for communication. My advice: shoot your shot. You know, you don't know if you fail or not. Don't be scared, bro. Like, trust. Everybody's scared right now in this world. Like, do you see how it is right now? So shoot your shot. You know. Also, keep your head up. Anyway, thank you for inviting me, and also follow my Instagram.
Of course, make sure to check out my IG and my other socials in the description down below as well. And if you are new, please consider subscribing and liking the video if you did enjoy. And I will see you guys in the next video. Road to 1K soon. Peace.